can see
All
you
right.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. Bill was having some issues with his headset. So, anyway,
Oh,
I am logging into my console. What are you doing for New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve. I don't know yet, but I usually party.
Do you party?
Yeah. Either, well, either either party in a small scale at home and see neighbors and people that live nearby, or we go someplace.
That sounds cool. So,
But we
where will you
haven't
go? Will you
decided.
go to a club or something? Or will you go to a party?
Oh, I don't
Or,
know. There's a bar just, 2 houses away. I could walk down there.
oh, you're
It's
right
the
in
only
town
bar in
then.
town.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
right. Literally walking, no driving. So it's or then we like last year and the year before. Sometimes we stay home and play games and have some snacks that I've made or something, make it special. And sometimes we have a mystery guest, someone that
Oh,
half of us
a
hasn't
mystery.
met yet. A
Is
mystery
that a
guest
good?
that has never been here before. Yeah, we had one a couple of years ago. It was someone that we've never had here before, and so I don't know. I just never know. I never know what to expect, but I leave it open for that. Yeah,
Awesome.
or I just go
Well,
to bed early.
well,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I always feel like somehow
yeah.
I'm sinning if I go to bed early, but
It
it's
does
just
seem
some.
like it. I always feel like I have to. Yeah, I have to stay up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, for us, we usually just sit with the dogs and we just kind of. And you look very nice, by the way. I've had
Well, so do you. Thank you.
I am on the verge of having a new computer. My computer is on its last leg.
Ah,
And as you can see, my sound is completely off from um, my vision of myself for some reason. Oh, there you go.
oh,
Okay,
oh, what
just
happened?
I don't know.
Am I still there? Oh, there
no,
I
you're
am.
fine.
No, I'm not.
No, your dog is. But
Well,
um,
that's Buzzy, by the way. Yeah,
there
that's
you.
that's that's one of the dogs I'll be spending time with for the new year. But I like
Ah,
your plans too. Those are nice. Those are nice. We'll probably make popcorn, and I got some champagne just in case.
oh yeah, I love
So
champagne.
you
Yeah,
got to. Well, I
and
don't
I
normally. It's the only time of year I drink it. Yeah.
I also love let me see, chocolate on New Year's, and I
Oh yes. Oh
so
yes.
M&M's with popcorn is real good, and I
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
enjoy maybe a steak, you know. So
Oh yeah.
anything to do with a
Nice.
splurge. Your hair is really getting long. My goodness, how long is your hair now?
That's I don't know, but it's now I had a buzz cut in June of 2014, and that was the last time I cut my hair. So
Wow,
I guess it's over 3 years, and it grows about 6 inches a year. I guess it's about maybe 18 inches long thereabouts.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I just
roughly
had
about a
mine.
half a foot a year. I think the average.
Wow. Yeah, I had mine cut
Yeah,
just a little
it
while
has
ago.
grown. It has grown.
Hmm.
Yeah, I must be eating well.
So, are you going
Well,
to
well, they
make it?
say you're not gonna. Yeah, go on.
Are
Yeah, I am.
are you?
It's true. It's funny. There is a delay, and I don't mean to step on you, but there is a delay. So sometimes when you start to talk, I don't hear you until I've already said something. So I'll
Right,
slow
right.
down. I'll
Um,
slow it down.
so did you end up getting a new computer?
Yes, I did. I got the
And what?
same kind I had before.
Oh,
It's
you
an
got a
iMac.
Mac.
Yeah, yeah. Because I do a lot of work. I do a lot of studio type of work, and it's not just for business or for doing my books or balances or checking or anything like that. I do a lot of artwork on it. I use it for a lot of things, even for sound recording and for even producing some of the music that I do, or I do a lot with it.
I've never had a Mac, and I
Oh,
think it would
I
be.
learned on an
It
IBM.
it seems like it's like a different continent for me. It sounds like it's something
It's
that
not
I
that
would
different
really have
now. Well,
to.
actually, the look is, I suppose it's rather similar now to Windows because Windows keeps becoming more and more like sort of like a Mac. Um, I learned with the IBM with the old black screen and the green letters, and then I went on to an Apple, which was the same type. I didn't care for the Mac when I first saw it when they first came out, but I saw the later ones and I liked it and I got used to it and I liked the visuals. I used to do desktop publishing when they first came out because not many people
Hmm.
had them. And I was able to get graphics that looked like it was designed by a printer. And we were able to save a little money that way by not having to, you know, go to a printing press, to do a copy, to do a clean copy for reproductions, So I loved that because I was able to do layouts on the Macs very easily to do the newsletters and to do graphics, paste in graphics. All of that was very difficult in the early days of Windows, before Windows, because there was just that black screen. And
Right.
Windows is a program that sits on top of it. Yeah, it's a DOS shell, and the whole concept is Windows. That whole pretty Windows that you see there, that sits on top of that original computer. That sits on top of it. It's a and with Macs you can't see it like that. The Mac sits all integrated into their. It's two different systems, but they look very similar these days. They used to
So
be rather incompatible, but now many programs work back and forth, so it's gotten easier.
were you able to download to the newest version of Skype then?
Yes, I was, and that's why
And
I'm here today.
and and do you like
And
it?
I actually I hate to update many things, and I couldn't update many programs, and I couldn't because I would need to upgrade my entire operating system, and I couldn't do that unless I got a new computer because that's how old my other one was. It was 6 years old, and that's pretty good for today because I know things don't stay up to date for very long. These
Right.
days I think things are obsolete at about 6 months. So if you can keep
Mhm.
your old computer running, and that's what I did, it saved me money and I enjoyed it for a long time. Now the one I have now is identical, and I was able to to transfer all my files by plugging in an Ethernet cable and just hitting migrate, and everything boof came over, and everything looks exactly the same. All of my settings are the same, and it was a very easy transition.
That's with the new Mac?
So yeah, hmm
Wow. That's so
yeah. So I
cool.
didn't have to do any. Yeah, so I didn't have to do any saving onto disks or the drives or anything. All I had to do was just shoot it over. And while I was at it, I got myself a hard drive, an additional external hard drive to back up my computer each day, so that if it does break, I got my stuff on my hard drive
What
and
no,
everything's
what
backed up.
oh, you mean that's that little is that little clippy thing?
It's a little drive. Well,
I see
actually,
I've
it's a
never
little
used one.
drive.
I
No, you
should.
see,
That's
this here.
I can't see
Let me
it.
hold it up so the camera could see it.
I can't
I'm holding it
still
up.
not
Oh,
see it.
here it is. Here it
There
is.
you
Wait,
are.
there.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
it's thin, and I really. Oh, here we go. I can move it a little better now. There it is. It's just a thin device, and it's a little plug, and you plug it into your computer as instructed, depending on what kind you got. And that's the first time I've ever decided to get such a device because I never had a backup drive before, and it was high time that I did the right thing.
Yeah. Well, I am having I'm going to get into my room to see if we have any callers once Bill sends me a
Very
the
good.
I don't have it yet. I don't have the link to get to my room. I'm having huge computer problems. So this is
Uh-oh.
the yeah. So I'm going to ask you on 2018 if you would do. Oh, there's something going on there for me. I just went into a
2018.
yeah something. I'm just going into a little. There I went into a big one again. Um, yeah. So I wish that I could tell Bill to please send me the link to the but his little headphones aren't working right now. So that's
Are
why
you
we're
trying to
having
get to the Achieve link?
to the Achieve
Are you
Radio
trying to get
to the room where the
the
calls come in.
station link?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something I can't see. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
So
have access to that.
go ahead and make a reading on that, and I will go ahead.
Well, they're using he's using
Oh, here. Okay, okay.
the screen now. I have to
Oh, darn it!
stretch
I
this,
lost
and
it.
every time you make the screen bigger, you're gonna see more mess behind me. I'm just telling you right now. I
Yep,
liked
I
it
know.
better when we moved it in a little closer.
I
There you
know.
go. That's better. That's better.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, it's dirty little secrets. It's the one thing that I
Well,
always
well,
noticed about the widescreen.
I really
Also.
haven't designed sets yet. Yeah, I do have. That will be one of the things I will do this year is to make a really nice portable set for myself
Well, I
for
noticed that
background.
they have on eBay those they're like a frame, and then you can get all kinds of amazing backdrops, and they're so like a very very cheap, and all you have to do is pin it up there and make sure that you're wide enough for that wide screen. But yeah, that's the problem with
Yes.
new
Yeah.
cameras is
Well, I thought about getting a nice little, Japanese style folding screen and then putting
Mhm.
some colored spotlights behind it. To get a nice cine effect. Three opaque panes.
Mhm. So did you want to do a reading while I
That
try
would
to
be nice.
get that room? And
Well, sure. Well, who am I doing a reading for? Who
you are
is
just
waiting
going to
for a
look at
reading?
no, because I can't get the room yet. So what you're going to
Uh,
do is look at um you're going
should I
to
do a
look at
reading
2000.
for the first person,
Yeah.
whoever it is?
Yeah, and that will help
Do
me
a
to
reading for
try.
the first person in line, whoever they are. Okay, whoever you are. If you're next,
I can't get to
this
him because
is
I can't.
for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the first person who was waiting next. All right, so we'll play a game. Well, tarot can be very ending in this way.
You can. Sometimes you can just almost do a reading on a nothing at all, and be
Well,
amazingly.
that's true.
Um,
Uh, okay, well, now, whoever you are, at the present time, I have picked up for you the Six of Cups and that you're currently on now. It is the Six of Cups is reversed, it's inverted. Now, in general, it means this is a time right now where you'll be looking back at how things used to be and maybe your childhood, and you're beginning to pay a little bit more attention to your future and and planning. Like say your retirement or investments, even just, who do you want to be with? Who do you want to spend your life with? And who's wasting your time? So this has been a time where you're thinking ahead and thinking about revamping your life. And in terms of work, it might mean that honeymoon is over, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means that you've taken off your rose-colored glasses and now you're ready to perceive things as they are. And so what we have coming for you down ahead, we have judgment. Sounds
Oh,
scary, doesn't it?
yes, it
Yeah, but
does.
it's actually it's well, it's always a card that looks kind of scary. Um,
Depending on the deck.
but what we have here, depending on it, yeah. Um,
There's so many.
Judgment reversed. What? Oh, there's so many.
There's so many
um,
decks that, I mean, there's
well,
so
well,
many.
exactly. Well, what this means is that you're being cautioned about jumping to conclusions and don't make snap judgments and don't be hasty about things in the near future, because if you're prone to this, this is the signal for you to be a little more laid back. Listen better, take your time making a decision about situations and people. Okay, because everything that you encounter is multi-layered, and so and if you're looking for love, um, and because I did see the cups in the present day, I'm guessing your question had to do with love or relationships, and I am seeing that um, with love, if you're too rash and too judgmental and too quick to make a decision and a conclusion, this could wreck your relationship, or it will make you seem off-putting if you're looking for a new relationship. So be cool, you know, and things will work out well. Just take a chill pill. Really take a deep breath and go, okay, it isn't as bad as I think it is, because really I have no evidence. If you don't have the evidence, then don't jump to conclusions. And
Joseph,
besides, there's always more than one side. There's more than one side to a story. There's always more than one side to everyone's story. That's it.
Joseph, Joseph, I'm going to give you the first
Yes.
question. I still have to
Oh,
run
okay.
and get some coffee. So this is from Brittany,
Okay,
and
so I
she
hope that
says,
helped the first person. Brittany.
I've been struggling through a job transition. My previous company offered me a short term contract that I accepted. Several people, namely my sister, are very against me, accepting and pushing me to find something else. Is this position, which she doesn't talk about where this is this position a poor choice going forward? I was excited for the offer, but now I'm having doubts from others' opinions and my desire to eventually change. So, Brittany is wanting to be able to have a reading on the job transition, the company she's with, and the short term contract, and whether everything's cool for her. And I'm going to go run and get coffee.
Alrighty. Well, Brittany, I'm seeing that at the present time, and if it hasn't happened yet, it will happen very soon. I do see at the present time that in regard to whether or not this is a good place, I got the card the Lovers, and it's reversed. And what this means is that it's a very good omen. It means in terms of work, you will find yourself, you may even find yourself attracted to someone that you work with at this place. Because it is the Lovers, and though it's upside down, this is not a bad thing. Excuse me. But the reversal could mean that to be a little more careful about mixing business and pleasure. And that's where the caution is. But be sure you always know what you're getting into, and always consider what the repercussions would be like can I lose my job over this? So I would advise not to have an affair at work, but that's me. The cards are just saying, be aware. And they also say, think positively, because this could be a good thing. Okay? So, what I see coming down, so this job could mean a lot of things here. This job seems to be pointing to a relationship that you might find yourself in. And that's really interesting. Um, it is an indication for you to pay attention to what your gut's telling you, but try to be clear in your decisions, okay? And don't ignore your gut feeling. But this is a good omen. This is a good place to be if that's what you want. But if you're going to avoid somebody, well, then maybe you need to reconsider where you're at. Okay. But I do see in the near future we have the magician, and he too is upside down. And when the magician card is when it's upside down, it means you have creativity that is um, maybe a little more hesitant in the creative process, but it's still about making higher and better use of your abilities. And I do see that coming down the road. And it seems like you're on the road here to making yourself better business wise. And but the reversal here is that don't overlook things. Okay, don't overlook little things that could point you into the direction that you want to go. Be very observant about what's going on around you, and sometimes little signs seem to point you happen in your life that pull you there easily, and those are synchronicities, as they call them. You know, like that the room number of your office popping up and change, you know, or little things like that. Like, well, that's the same thing. Seeing things that somehow make you think, I am in the right place. Well, I know a musician that always found keyboards wherever he went. You know, at some places he would find signs and sidewalks painted like keyboards. And the last time it was tile in a washroom that was keyboard patterned, and he's a keyboard player. So I always think, well, that's a synchronicity. And it looks like you are where you're supposed to be. So I see it turning out okay. It looks like you're on the right road. And I even see a little romance happening there. So that's what I see.
When I look at what's going on, Brittany, and again, the number to call in for our rather dysfunctional show today, which is we're doing the best we can with the sound and with some things going on. And I do want to say the number to call in is 602-666-6027. And Joseph Grick and I will do some amazing readings for you. And please do. We have Richard from Maine who has joined us. Thank you so much, Richard. And I'm going to read on Brittany real quick. And what comes through for me, Brittany, as to the new place. And first of all, I'm going to look at how people are perceiving you and why. And what comes through, Brittany, says, you know, sometimes I believe that one of the things that we all can be guilty of is saying, why is somebody against me, when we ourselves may be projecting a certain kind of energy that may be, without us even knowing it, a little bit negative. And maybe it's in the pinpoint pupil that we have, because they say that when people are compassionately caring about you, then what happens is the pupil gets very large. And oftentimes, when people are talking and they're wondering or analyzing how others are feeling about them, what will happen is that their pupils will get very small, and the more nervous and the more they feel people are against them, the more that those little pupils actually begin to look like, I hate you. But here's the thing: when you have tuned out your analytical mind, and let's do this for 2018, everybody. Let's tune out our analytical mind, which oftentimes spends so much time judging how others are judging us, that we find that so much wasted negative thoughts that we perceive are happening are really not more than ourselves and our pinpoint pupils sending negative messages. So, what I see, Brittany, when I look at, is this a good place for you? Um, uh, and the opinions of others, it says, at this place, you are very vulnerable. There are people there that are feeling like they've been there longer than you have, and they're feeling that they qualify for a little more strokes than you, and that there's a sense that you have to earn any type of status or acceptance that you want there. So, what you perceive as people being down on you may be true, but I believe that you can let it go and work and not allow yourself to focus on it, but do nothing but concentrate on doing an amazing job. I'm not going to say screw your sister, but I'm going to say forget about your sister, forget about the people around you, prove everybody wrong, do an amazing job. You'll get through this. Okay, we have Richard from Maine. I'm going through a very hostile divorce situation, he says. How is this going to work out? From Richard from Maine.
Oh my. Well, I do see. Oh, well, I pulled up the Eight of Pentacles for the present day, and actually, it looks like whenever I see pentacles, I always think of well, actually, basically, what it usually is
I can
it's
think of
money.
several
It's
things.
money.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I just kind of hit a space out blank here. But actually, at the present time, the Eight of Pentacles is reminding you to pay attention to details and small details, and to really be sure that you have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. Because if you're careless, even legally and with finances, and for some things that you're not checking on, you need to be accurate for this. So then I see it working out. I do see that as long as that you're paying attention to the details, it's going to be all right. Okay. Um, and you can't just sit there and do what I just did just now and space out and go, huh? Because this is an important time for you, really is. I do see that in the near future, I do see that there is somebody who will play an important part in your life, and she's either there now or she's soon to come in, and it's the Queen of Pentacles again with the Pentacles, and this is usually these cards are usually people. She's a nurturing, down-to-earth woman who also cares for other people, and she's loyal to her friends. She's either a loyal friend or she will be your next and hopefully the one. But I do see that she is a good person and she is there for you, and she is going to become more prominent in the very near future. And I do see it. I don't see anything bad. I do see that this is going. Your current situation is going to wrap up. Yes, pay attention. Look, read the fine print before signing the dotted line. Have your lawyer check things out for you before you sign things. Stuff like that. But you take care of all that, and I do see a new beginning coming with this other person or someone who will be very helpful in making sure that you're going to have a nice, clean start after this. That's what I see.
I have heard, and I don't know, but from what I have heard from other people getting divorced is that there was a time when a woman could clean a man out, or a man could take everything from a woman. But now I hear that everything, whether you like it or not, is pretty much cut right down the middle. So that I don't think that there's a chance of you losing everything you've got, because I think that right now that's almost I I just heard that that's not the way it works anymore. So whatever you have, expect that you will have to give about half of it up right down the middle, whether that person deserves it or not. What I'm shown is that um, you must prepare yourself for the fact that if you want to not become a victim of circumstances in this divorce, as Joseph says, be cautious. Understand this is not the time to have a new affair or anything that could make um, other your other partner feel that she has something to bring you to trial about. You have to give a squeaky clean image. And if there was ever a time where you have to refrain from gambling, cheating, or exorbitant amounts of money and look like a saint and give unusual amounts of money to charity and look like the good guy, now is the time. Because I feel that there is going to be money lost. Prepare for it, but it isn't illegal money lost. It's division right down the middle, and so you're not going to come out being taken to the cleaners. However, you will lose money, and you will lose financial investments. It will be divided down the middle. So prepare for it. That's what I see. Okay.
Wow.
I I want I wanted to discuss something that I thought
Oh,
was
sure.
very well, now, darn it. Yes, there it is. It's called Three Steps for a Better New Year, and it has nothing to do with exercise or dieting. And
Hmm.
and and it says, do you mind if I go over this just a little bit, Joseph? Give you a break
Sure.
here.
Oh, I don't
It
mind.
says, well,
Yeah.
while deep reflection regarding our lives and throughout planning for this new year can be a terrific exercise, now I would like to suggest three simple steps that I believe will guarantee a better start for 2018 for you and all those people around you. So, after working, and this is from a clinical psychiatrist, with my patients in my practice about this topic and reviewing the research literature, as well as strongly believing that taking just a little time to do the following three things, you'll have a great year, be better, and be happier to boot. The first one is practice gratitude. Now, that sounds terribly new agey and full of trivial crap, I know. But it
Uh-huh.
says being able to just kind of look around yourself without being in a pity party every day is very empowering. It means that as you come to the
Hmm.
end of this year and welcome the new one, take a moment to list 12 things that you're grateful for in your life. And maybe it's around your house or your car or your friends or whatever. These items can include also your health, um, or any favorite vacation or experience or whatever you wish to list. These could be big things or very minor ones. And most of all, please write them down and place your list somewhere that you can see them regularly. And research has been clearly shown that when you reflect on what you're grateful for and focus your attention there, you will be more likely, more healthy, feel better, be more optimistic, and a lot less stressed out. Number two, kindness. Kindness is important because right now we live in a terribly tribal world. Everybody hates everybody. Everybody hates the other guy's party. Everybody hates the other guy's president. Everybody hates, hates, hates.
How about it?
Yeah. So, kindness. Make a point to express kindness and compassion to people every day. It could be a simple, polite gesture to a stranger or a favor to a friend, but make a point to say a kind word, offer a friendly smile, or any other act of kindness, compassion. Research shows that expressing kindness and compassion also makes us feel better about ourselves, less stressed, anxious, depressed, and more optimistic too. So we've got one, writing 12 things down that you're grateful for, no matter how large or small. Kindness. Try to smile or do send an email to an old friend, something that makes you feel that you're showing someone a little bit of compassion on that day. And the last third one is acceptance. Take a moment to remind yourself that you live in the world that you live in with people and conditions that you're surrounded by. And certainly you can work to change your life circumstances or your environment for the better in this next new year, 2018. But there's great wisdom in the serenity prayer. Change what you can, accept what you can't, and work to know the difference. Again, research supports the notion that you will be happier and more optimistic if you work to let go of the things that you can't change and make efforts to accept that reality. Don't fight what you can't change, accept it, and move on. Have a great 2018 by doing these 3 things that have nothing to do with dieting or exercise, but certainly an exercise in being more grateful, accepting, and being just a little more kind towards others. Okay, that's what I see. I'm sticking to it. What do
Very
you?
nice.
So
Very nice.
it is true. I mean, we've someone's got to start the flow somewhere, right? I mean, how long
Absolutely.
can people continue to be tribalistic and hateful? It just isn't going to work. We're all going to get sick, we're going to get
Hmm.
angry, and if we can just learn to accept. Someone told me, um oh my God, we have got to get rid of the next president. We've got to accept that. Just it seems as if so many people have completely put their entire happiness on who's in power, when every day we are in power of our own lives. Right? I mean, we are the one that's in charge of what's in front of us. Why worry
Well, I
about?
partly agree. I do partly agree. Or actually, I do agree to an extent, as I would say, yes, we are in control of our immediate world around us, so we are in control of the actions that we do. However, we're not in control of who's in power beyond casting a vote and several in the right places. However, you can even control who has money on your own. You look and you see where the products that you buy and all the things you buy, find out who owns those companies. And then you decide who you want to give your money to and make it a point to do this research. Know where your money is going. And then you can speak louder with your pocketbook by not giving money people that you can't stand because you unwittingly are buying things that are making them richer. So I would say stop supporting people that you don't want to support. I'm not saying who you should support, but if it doesn't suit your mindset, then don't give them your money. find out where that money's coming from and find out if what you're buying and all those little pastimes and all those equipment you buy and gadgets you buy, who is getting that money when you make those purchases. And then you make your decision from there. How's that sound? It
I
sounds
think
like you
that
have power in
sounds
your hands, though, doesn't it?
you have
Yeah,
power. You have, but again, you're taking power of what's in front of you.
you do. Mhm.
And and
You're
this
taking
ramping
your
and
own.
raving and going crazy and watching continuous CNN or Fox about who's right and who's wrong. You know what? Just deal with what's in front of you and accept your lot. You're not going to be able to change once the vote for whoever's in power is until that next time. And then maybe you will, maybe you won't. But no matter what,
Hmm.
you have control to be a better neighborhood member. You have control to be a better pet owner. You have control to control what's in your refrigerator. You have control of your body. There's so many things we have control on, and and
Mm.
chances are that you would not get very close to Trump anyway, or to your
Mm.
congressman even. But yeah, that's a good idea. Being in control of who you give your money to. And you know what?
Well, that's
I
what it's all about. That's what all the yeah. I mean, that's what I mean, in the material world, that's where all the power is, and with material items, and these people who are in power and all the rich, they're getting their money from somewhere, and I'm sure some of it comes from us. So, you know.
I've even been I'm an animal rescuer, right? And you love animals too. But one of the
Mhm.
things that I have been
Certain ones,
well, yeah,
certain
but I mean,
animals.
yeah, certain animals. But
Yeah.
for me, um, I was kind of a slave to my compassion,
Yes.
it went straight from broken men to broken animals. And
Oh.
so so I found that broken animals I had more ability to be able to get results from. And one of the things
Uh,
that I also found out is there are questionable animal companies out there. And I hate to give names, but I used to be a member of ASPCA.
oh.
Uh,
Okay. That's neat.
but as an animal rescuer myself, I also worry about the animals in my community. So I used to go on patrol every single day with my critters, and we'd look for abused animals and things, and throw food
Hmm.
out for the ones that were on a chain and eating their own poop or whatever. And but the one thing that I was
Mm.
angry about was that ASPCA started calling me and saying, "You can no longer only send us $10 a month. You have to send
What?
us 19." And I was really hurt and I was really upset because
Ah.
I thought this is the kind of world where people that are poor and people that are rich and people that are, you know. And so then I found a little place
Hmm.
that I could pay with PayPal on their site. And I thought, I will gift you $10 for the month with PayPal. But then I started looking and it said, so from now on, we can take it from your bank. And I thought, wait a minute, I'm going to give you a gift of $10, but you're
It's a
going to make
donation.
sure.
Yeah.
I was like so disappointed in ASPCA. I thought, man, I really
Oh,
wanted. Their
jeez.
commercials are bombarding us on Christmas and every day with these
Well,
sad
that's
voices
amazing.
and sad
Yeah.
animals. And I do want to help out with animals, but I feel that I should be able to choose PayPal, and I feel I should be able, because I don't want my bank account sucked into by any company.
Well, no.
And
Plus, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to give up that control of who you pay.
and I want to
Yeah,
give what I
like
want.
I pay
I mean,
online for a lot of
I
things, but I
I know.
control what I do. Yeah.
and I want to be a rescuer
You should be
myself
able
in
to
my
give
own
what you want.
community
What's not
and
good
give
enough?
what
It's
I
not good
want.
enough.
Right. So no, it was not. It was not.
Right.
They wanted $19. And I just was like, the calls
So they
started
said, no
coming in.
thanks. Don't give us anything. Don't
I
give
cut
us
them
anything
completely off.
then.
I cut them off because I believe in rescuing animals, but I do not believe that when you spend mega
Yeah.
money on commercials on TV with sad voices and then tell people that they have to spend
Yeah.
only $19, and when they do use PayPal, say, "Can we use your checking account from now on?" Mm-mm, sorry, sorry. So
Oh,
again, I am being even
yeah.
cautious about rescue animal companies and which ones I give
Mhm.
to. Um, and there's a lot of good
Yeah.
ones out there. That is not the only one. So,
Well, I would say keep it closer to home. Like even my advice for people that want to give money or to give assist or to give to some charity, look what's going on nearby in your community that you have
yeah,
more control over, that where you could see the results. If you want to do help for a shelter, donate to a shelter, look for one that owned and and see, there are we have some privately owned ones out here, actually, and that's where we got the black lab from. She was an old dog, and
Bugsy.
she was living she was the owner of a kennel, is what it is, and but she also stayed in a cage all day. So now she's happy. She's in a real household with all sorts of attention and all sorts of
Aw,
stimuli. Yeah, and she's a different dog. She's a different dog completely, and she gets along great with Bugsy. And but see, but that's the place that we knew of. It's a locally owned place, and you can make a difference in communities. And part of the secret to that is to also give back to your community by trying to shop there,
yes,
try to give some of those businesses some support, and then you can start making a real difference. Get
right.
away from those big boxes,
That's
big
a good
corporate
plan for
owned things.
2000. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Draw back and then refocus on your community. There's bound to be businesses around, and there's bound to be a nearby shelter that you could support that you might like, to see do well in your
Right.
community.
And that goes for charity for children too, because
Not like to donate. Yeah,
I went to my
they'll take your
local
20. They'll take your $10.
yeah, I went to my local pizza
Yeah.
ranch, and they had right on the thing somebody in my own little town that had a child with brain cancer, and I didn't know about it. But
Oh.
I mean,
Mhm.
there's things all around. People suffering with children, sick children, and animals,
Mhm.
and you need to take care. In 2018, understand that yes, the
And you can
companies that
find
have
out by reading your local paper. Yeah.
yes, yes. Work on
Yeah.
giving more
A
to
lot
your
of people don't
community.
bother with those. We
Right.
get a couple of, we get a weekly shopper and we get something called the paper. And but if you want community news, that's one way of it. And some people don't bother with those little newspapers, but they're helpful in finding out what's going on around your towns, your nearby
Yep.
towns. And you find out some pretty cool things. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
there
have
was even a bazaar. There was a craft bazaar across the street, and I wouldn't have even known about it if I hadn't read
oh
about it in the
wow.
paper.
Cool.
I love
I
those. I love craft bazaars.
yeah, craft bazaars are cool. I I know that for myself, I this year I gave myself and my husband a bun coffee pot maker, and we sipped
Wow.
coffee that took to about a minute and a half to make, and it was nice and rich. And then my 11-foot bike finally got delivered to the end of the lane, and that was it looks very artistic there, and so it gives my lane, hopefully in my community, a reason to put white rock in the spring instead of tell us that we do not
Oh
that we're
yeah.
invisible. So there's all
Well, I
kinds
gave
of things.
everybody sweatshirts.
Ah, yeah.
Uh, I have a
What kind?
Pink
What was?
Floyd, and I
Oh,
have
Pink
two other albums.
Floyd.
This is from
Oh
the album cover,
my!
the album from
Wow.
Animals, and these
Cool.
are
I
official
was
items.
noticing. I was
Official,
noticing the little spike. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. And I gave these as gifts also. And I'm wearing mine today for New Year's, and I have my beads on like we talked about. So my
Well,
these are my spiritual beads. Yeah.
I was a little discouraged with my computer, so I was in half frenzy mode, wondering if it was even going to show video today. And the strangest thing is, I have, where you put the electrical cord in, it somehow became
Hmm.
warped. So I have to hold it in different angles so it gets a charge.
Oh dear.
And and
Oh
so
wow.
it was just, I think, time for me to get a new computer, and um, it all works out. And unfortunately, I also spilled coffee on my Saint Bernard when I came back here to do the show,
Oh.
so he wasn't
Well,
happy
you know, I
with me.
once.
But it was
Oh no, yeah. There are a couple of times when I had near miss with that with the dogs. You know, because they're always around my feet, and I'm training them not to do that. But every now and then they just kind of lose it, and I've got coffee or something. It's like, oh, you are so lucky. You are just so lucky.
how
You get a
how do
drop
you
of that
feel?
on you.
How do you feel about training two instead of just one? Do you think they learn from each other?
Well, yeah, actually, I think since we raised Bugsy from a puppy, he grew up with us and got to know all of us and knows how to use each one of us for our own particular qualities. And he's also a very polite dog, very well behaved, and he has been trained. And so when Abby came to us, she was kind of like a rudely awakened bear, and he was kind of cowed by her. But he did. He also helped train her.
Awesome.
With
They say that the best way to train a dog
the
is with
beginning,
another
like what
dog.
he would do is she had to go to the bathroom. You know, sometimes one dog will tell you that another one has to go to the bathroom,
Mhm.
and
Wonderful.
so yeah,
He
which is
got
not,
my
because he'll come up to us and he's like, because it's ornery when she wanted to go, and he didn't like how we would get mad at her for getting ornery, so he gets upset. So he's started to tell us in advance, like, I think she's got to go. You better let her out. So he's a very like, yeah. We've been having some connection problems here while I talk, so
Yes,
that's why it's
yes.
coming in spotty.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Skype is really out for both of us today. So, um, hopefully next show will be a little better. And I don't know. I think I like the old one best, but I too tried to update, and I think some of that was the problem.
Yeah. See, I'm getting
Yep, cutting out.
reconnection notices.
Yep.
There we are. I think I'm back. I'm not sure.
Yes, you
There we
are.
are.
Yes, you are. Okay, well,
Well, I guess the
Joseph.
secret is to always smile and never blink. So if the picture freezes, you'll always look nice.
Okay, well, thank you
Learn to
so much
talk
for being
without
with
moving your
us.
mouth and smile.
Yeah, or get a
Thank you for
piece of
having me
paper.
back.
I think it's
Happy
time to get a piece of paper. Yep. Happy New Year.
New Year.
And we have 1 minute and 25 seconds. Do you think you can do a quickie on the prayer?
So, okay. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. Protect me with your white light and help me to do well and make good decisions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy New
Thank you,
Year.
Joe. Have a good one. Bye bye. Be safe.
Bye. You too. Bye-bye now.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Odell at Achieve Radio's Tarot Joy. Come on upstairs. Grab yourself a tapestried pillow and get a down-home, honest reading with 30 years Master Tarot channeling experience. In addition, I will have a weekly spiritual guest from around the world. That's 2 readings per call